Hello friends, in this video we are going to talk about some real life applications of random variables. In that, first is business applications. Although our discussion may have seemed somewhat on theoretical side, it turns out that some of the most applicable aspects of probability. Suppose a mutual fund sales person has a 50%, perhaps too high, but he will revisit this. Chance of closing a sale on each call she makes. Suppose further that she made 4 calls in that last hour. Consider a closing sale a success and not closing sale a failure. Then we will study the variables. X is equal to total number of success. Y is equal to number of success before the first failure. An interesting question is how would the distribution of Y vary for different values of X. Now we are going to second example as a lottery. The concept of expected value can be generalized in many applications. We are interested in a function of a random variable. Let x be the random variable and let h of x be a function of x. Then expected value of h of x written as e of h of x is defined by e of h of x is equal to summation of all x h of x into p of x. In lottery where the buyer of a ticket picks 6 numbers out of 50, x can be the number of matches out of the picked numbers and the actual payoff is a function of x. We will study the expected payoff and the risk standard deviation involved in buying a lottery ticket. Managing investments. Managing risk is an important part of life. This is particularly true when we are assessing the desirability of investing portfolio. It is necessary not only to look at the expected return but also to look at the risk. In this application, we will study how to reduce the risk of portfolio. Consider the following two investments. Mean rate of return standard deviation. Investment 1, investment 2. Investment 1 taken as a 0.06 and 0.02 as the standard deviation, 0.08 as the mean rate of return in investment 2 and 0.03 the standard deviation. Which would you choose? There is no simple answer to this question. The choice depends on your attitude towards risk. Some people are risk averse. That is, they try to minimize their potential losses, but at the same time, they may limit their potential gains. Such a person would probably pick investment 1, since by Chebyshev inequality, there is at least a 88.9% chance of getting a positive return on the investment, that is 0.06 plus per minus 0.02 to 0.02. On other hand, people who are not risk averse might pick investment 2 for although they might lose as much as 1%, 0.08 to 3 to 0.03. They might gain as much as 17%, 0.088 plus 3 to 0.03. Now consider the following scenarios. Scenario 1. Mean rate of return and standard deviations of two investments are here. Investment 1 0.06 and investment 2 0.008 as a rate of return. Standard deviation as 0.02 and 0.02 as same. Scenario 2. In mean rate of return 0.08 and investment 2 has 0.08 same as rate of return. Since the risks are the same in scenario 1, one should pick the investment with a higher return. In scenario 2, the returns are the same. A risk averse person would pick the investment with lower risk. Of course, not everyone is risk averse. Next one is diversification. An important idea is that one should not just invest in one vehicle, that is buy a broad spectrum of stocks, bonds, real estates, money market certificates, etc. Such a strategy is called diversifying a portfolio. The point here is that if you invest in, say, stocks and bonds simultaneously, then it is unlikely for them both to go down at the same time. When stocks prices are increasing, bonds are usually decreasing, and the vice versa. In our statistical language, this means that they are negatively correlated. Odds and subjective probability. In the lottery example, we found that for every dollar invested, we expected return of only 40%. In other words, we lost 60% for every dollar invested. Since one usually does not think of the lottery as serious investment but more as means of entertainment, this is fine. However, for actual investments, we expect to get a net positive return. In order to establish baseline for any wager investment or even an insurance premium, which is a form of wager, we will study the concept of a fair bet in this application. Decision making under uncertainty. Many of concepts we have introduced effectively in analyzing decision problems that involve uncertainty. The basic features of such a problems are: we need to make a choice from the set of possible alternatives. Each alternative may involve a sequence of actions. The sequence of our actions, usually given in the form of a payoff table, may depend on possible states of nature which are governed by a probability distribution, possibly subjective. A true state of nature is not a no at the time of decision. Our objective is to maximize the expected payoff and or return to minimize risk. We could acquire additional information regarding the true state of nature at a cost. Example: investment decision. An individual has $1 million. An individual has $1 million and wishes to make a 1-year investment. Suppose his or her possible actions are: A1. Buy a guaranteed income certificate paying 10%. A2. Buy a bond with a coupon value of 8%. A3. Buy a well diversified portfolio of stocks. Return on investment in the diversified portfolio depends on the next year. Suppose there are three possible states of nature. S1. Interest rate increases. S2. Interest rate stays the same. S3. Interest rate decreases. Suppose further that the subjective probabilities for these states are 0.2, 0.5 and 0.3 respectively. Based on historical data, the payoff table is states of nature S1, S2, S3, A2, A3 as given. Which action should he or she take? The expected payoffs for the actions are 1 lakh, A2 as 84,000, A3 as 87,000. Hence, if one wishes to maximize expected payoff, then action A1 should be taken. And these are the some basic applications of random variables used in our daily life. Thank you, friends.